Believe it or not, using 3D tools like Blender is a great way to make sprite sheets for your 2D game. Let me show you how and why you may want to use this method for your games. Let's get into it. This video assumes you already have a 3D animation. If you're new to the 3D process in Blender, I have left some video suggestions in the description to get you started. Once you have a 3D animation, the process is fairly simple. We'll set up a camera, render the animation, and then use a tool called ImageMagick to compile all the rendered frames into one image. ImageMagick is a free and open source tool that's been around for a long time, so it's a nice tool to have alongside Blender for this approach. The major advantage of using this approach, rather than drawing sprites using 2D software, is that it's easier and more scalable to make 3D animations. Yes, there is overhead in setting up the 3D model and the rig, but if you have the need for a ton of animations, such as for a playable character, this method scales very well. In addition, you may also consider this method if you want to reuse animations across characters. With a similar rig, you can easily transfer animations in the future to other characters, which is impossible to do with traditional 2D animation. Without further ado, let's see how I would go about making a sprite sheet with a 3D animation. First, let's configure a camera in the scene. I added a camera with Shift A and moved it so my character was within the frame. Use the G key to move and the R key to rotate as you see fit. In the output properties section, I set the resolution to 1024 by 1024. Even if your target resolution is smaller, it's not a bad idea to render it to a higher one for more fidelity, because ImageMagick can downscale the images for you when we create the sprite sheet later. I also changed the output directory so the rendered frames are in a location I can reference later. I checked the transparent setting under the film section in the render properties panel. This ensures my rendered images have transparent backgrounds. I also set the camera to orthographic. I liked orthographic for my character render, but you can choose to use perspective instead. Orthographic makes the sprite look more 2D in my opinion. I also adjusted the orthographic scale until the character fit the frame. It's good to leave some space so the whole animation fits the camera view. Finally, I pressed numpad 0 to test the camera view and adjusted it accordingly. I played my animation to make sure none of it is cut off by the camera. Now that you have the camera configured and the animation fits, let's render it. Before rendering animation frames, it's a good idea to make sure there are no files in the output folder. If you change the length of your animation, you run the risk of mixing frames with a previous render. In addition, I made sure the file format in the output properties was PNG with RGBA colors. It's time to render. I pressed Ctrl F12 to render the animation frames to the output directory. Depending on how complex your model is, it may take a bit of time. Now you can see all the frames are now rendered to the output directory. However, we don't have a sprite sheet yet. This is where ImageMagick comes in. Right before we use it, we need to configure it to have a higher memory cap. This is very important. If you have long animations, ImageMagick will fail to combine all frames if it doesn't have enough working memory, and its default setting is very low. To do this, I found the policy XML file that is part of the installation. On my Ubuntu-based system, it was located in the etc/ImageMagick6 folder. I changed the memory line to 2 GB and the disk line to 8 GB. Don't worry about it taking up storage space because of this. This is simply increasing the memory limit so ImageMagick is allowed to process more images in one go. Now we can generate the sprite sheet. I opened a terminal window with the output directory set as my working directory. To combine the sprite sheet, I will use the montage command. The montage command is used for combining many images into one. We need to specify which images to use in the command, so I use the asterisk since we are using all the images in the current working directory. Since I rendered the images to a higher resolution than my target, I'll add a geometry 128 by 128 argument. This will shrink down each frame. To control how tiles are laid out, I added a tile 8 by 8 argument. In your case, you'll change this to something that will be inclusive of your entire animation. For example, if you have 40 frames in your animation, you can't use 6 by 6 because that's only 36 tiles. To preserve the transparent background, I added background transparent. And finally, since I'm shrinking down the frames, I like to specify the downscaling algorithm. Catram applies a bicubic filter, which looks pretty good in my experience. I added the filter Catram argument. And lastly, I specified the output image's name and pressed enter. It just takes a second to work. And that's it. Now you have a beautiful sprite sheet for your 2D game. If you want to tweak your animation, I recommend saving this command to a script file so you can run it as many times as you like. I hope this video is helpful. Thank you and have a great day.